In order to have a good hybrid learning and teaching situation in a school or in a training center, it's very important that the management have set the frames for a good work. They need, for instance, to take into account which is the legal framework for changing into a hybrid learning situation. It's always important to know if it's possible from a curriculum point of view to see if it's possible for the students to switch to hybrid learning. That must be clear, not that you're not fulfilling your obligations as a learning organization. Furthermore, it's really important to have a support of the teachers so that they have a good training in dealing with hybrid methods. They must be able to motivate the students in order for them to fulfill the most important thing, to learn well, also during like a pandemic situation. And also finances is really important. The manager decides mainly where does the resources land in the organization. And if he chooses to say we need to switch to a hybrid learning situation, he must, of course, be sure that he has the right resources, such as hardware and special classroom settings in order to have a good learning infrastructure. And that can only be made by the manager's decision. In this case, the right decision. The dual system, for instance, in Germany, Austria or Denmark, have a special attention needed when you speak about hybrid situations of learning. The normal vocational training for a cook, for instance, a cook apprentice, takes place inside, let's say, a hotel kitchen. The trainer is working with the apprentice inside the kitchen, dealing with normal work tasks, being very authentic, being close to authentic learning. That means that the learning situation must be very special. They have to have hardware, they have to have also software and applications being able to use in the daily work, which is also the daily training within the dual system. The apprentice goes to the normal vocational school 1 day a week or 2 days a week, and there must also be the perfect setting for this kind of learning if you deal with a hybrid learning setting. Within the dual system, the pandemic has been a very huge problem. Normally, a company who has maybe 2 or 3 or 5 apprentices has a problem during pandemic situations. If they had faced a lockdown, a shutdown of business, it has been a direct implication of the training of this young person. That means the first people who is suffering from the pandemic closing enterprise is the young person himself. That means to establish a digital learning environment, let's say a hybrid learning situation where the student can learn or the apprentice can learn at home. He has a good chance to catch up with his training, not being maybe put on the street because there has been a shutdown of the whole business for a long time. But thankfully, the politicians have recognized that a big support was needed during the pandemic. For instance, there have been a lot of funding for training trainers and teachers dealing with this kind of situation. That means a lot of money has been flowing into establishing a good learning setting, even during pandemic situation.